Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about Superman, Son of Kal-El, issue 2. I just got around to reading it. It came out like 2 weeks ago, I believe, but I just got around to reading it. And spoilers if you haven't read it, there's your warning. Yeah, this issue sucks. It's really bad. If you're not caught up with what's going on currently with Superman, so we had the Bendis run. Bendis aged up Jonathan Kent, so he went from like, what was it, 11 or 12 to 17 years old, so he aged him up, and then he left the book, and now we have Philip Kennedy Johnson, who's writing both Superman and Action Comics, actually doing a really good job in salvaging the best he can with Bendis's run, and telling some really good father-son stories between Clark and John, and I was really enjoying it. But now he's just going to be writing Action Comics, and they got rid of the Superman title and renamed it Superman, Son of Kal-El, and now we have Tom Taylor writing the Superman, Son of Kal-El, and it's all around Jon Kent. And there's going to be a storyline soon where Superman goes to, or Clark Kent goes to Warworld, and so he's off planet, so Jon Kent, his son, will be the Superman of Earth, and that's what this is sort of setting up right now. So this issue really sucks. It's dumb. The first issue was it came off a little annoying because it's John just basically being like, why does the world suck? Why is the world so bad? Why isn't everything perfect like me? And then there's more of that in this issue, and he even tells off his own dad. It's great. So I'm gonna read I can't speak English. I'm gonna read a part of this comic, so bear with me. John says, "Dad, why don't you do more? Sorry, I didn't mean. No, it's okay. Bullets bounce off me. I should be able to handle some constructive criticism. I think part of me holds back because I wasn't born here. I can help, but I can't lead except by example. Part of me feels it's not my place. Well, that's idiotic. Your criticism is getting less constructive. You're the greatest hero on the planet. If you won't step up, who will? I was thinking you." And he's so close to his face there. That's weird. "This is your planet, John. This is your place. Are you literally dropping the weight of the world on my shoulders? Haha, funny dialogue from Tom Taylor. You won't have to lift it alone. You'll have friends to help bear the burden. I don't really have many friends. I was hoping Fen Connors would. Yeah." Okay, that's it basically. So this kind of shows that John's going to be a complete tyrant when he becomes Superman. He's basically has this perspective of, I can do it, so I will do it. Who's going to stop me? I could police the world. I could topple governments. I could take down dictatorships. It doesn't matter. I'm Superman, baby. I can do it. That's the vibe I'm getting from John here. Is he's kind of like, Dad, you can do it, so you should do it. Why haven't you? And it's kind of scary, and this is not the John I know from the Tomasi run. Jon Kent from the Tomasi run never would have done this, but this John is very much like getting dictator vibes. It's gonna be bad when Superman leaves. It's funny because you get this whole like, oh, he's so anti-fascist, but it seems like he's going to turn into a fascist himself. Yeah, don't like where this is going for John. Yeah, that's really bad. Let's break it down why it's bad. First off, John again being an entitled prick, just being like, "Dad, you should do more. Why don't you just fix everything in the entire world? Why do you allow bad stuff to happen? You should." Just, he sounds like such a dickhead, and I really wish that he was 18 so it wouldn't be child abuse for Superman to just backhand. Anyways, it's just, this is how you make John from a lovable character just incredibly annoying. So John criticizing Superman for not doing enough is really stupid, for one thing, and another is Superman being completely out of character here too, being like, it's not my planet, I wasn't born here. The hell it's not. You spent 17 seconds on Krypton. Like, I don't get this. I hate when writers do this, when they do this narrative of Superman sees himself as more as Kryptonian. He's not. He's more human than Kryptonian. Everything he's ever known or ever loved is on Earth. Everyone he's ever known or loved is human. Like, besides, you know, when he got to the Justice League and everything and aliens and all that. But for his upbringing, those teachers he liked, human. His parents, human. The kids he was friends with, human. The food he likes, guess who made it? Humans. Guess where the stuff was grown? On Earth. He's more human than he is alien. And Tom Taylor, you can tell, doesn't feel Superman is more human than alien because he named the book Superman, Son of Kal-El, not Superman, Son of Clark Kent. It's Superman, Son of Kal-El. He used his Kryptonian name for a reason, because Superman's more alien than human to Tom Taylor, which is really, really dumb and shows just that he doesn't know about Superman. Which is sad because Deceased, he did pretty good with the Superman Jon relationship, with the Clark Jon relationship, but in this, it's not done so well. It's done pretty poorly, in fact, and yeah, it's just annoying. But it's weird because there's so many comics that show that Superman sees himself more as human than Kryptonian, because again, he spent almost no time there. Like, most of the time, it's like 6 months to a year that he was on Krypton, that he's like a little baby. Sometimes more than that, it depends on the writer, but generally speaking, it's around that time, so he doesn't remember much. Do you remember anything when you were like a year old? Probably not. Superman is Superman, so, you know, he's a little different. He's Kryptonian, but it's similar in the terms of he's not really going to remember anything from Krypton. But guess what he's going to remember? His entire life on Earth. His parents being human. His wife is human. But no, he doesn't see himself as human, and this isn't his world, so he couldn't go more into things. But if you want explanation for why he doesn't do more, there was a good explanation in a Superman Batman comic. I can't remember the name of the storyline at this time. The name of the storyline is Superbat, and it takes place in issues 53 through 56 of Superman Batman. It's written by Michael Green and Mike Johnson, and the pencils are by Rags Morales. Really solid storyline. I've talked about a bunch on the channel. Go check it out. And man, that is a great freeze frame I chose right there. I am just looking great. I've talked about it before multiple times on the channel, but there was this time where Superman and Batman went and they took on Silver Banshee. She had this like cursed, like, I feel like a necklace or something, and it made it to where Superman and Batman switched powers. So that basically just means Batman got powers and Superman got absolutely nothing. And so during that time, Batman's like, I am going to fight crime 24/7 and stop everything bad that ever is going to happen. Well, what that did was it drove him crazy. Because, you know, work-life balance isn't just for human beings, you know, it helps for people with Superman's powers as well. It drove Batman absolutely nuts. He almost murdered Bane, he almost crippled Nightwing, he almost killed Catwoman. There's a lot of things that he did that were really bad because he was driven insane, because he was on the clock constantly, because he didn't need to, you know, sleep and eat and do all those things that he would normally need to do. And so after that, he understood why Superman didn't do more, why Clark didn't do more, because if you do, you go crazy, and then when you have that power and you go crazy, it's not a good thing. So you do need that balance, and you can't just be everywhere at once constantly saving people, even though you have the ability to kind of do so. So there's an explanation, but again, that would mean you read Superman comics, which I don't know how many Superman comics Tom Taylor has read. Seems like he's read a few, but he has his own interpretation of Superman, which I disagree with. And then to see the relationship of Jon and Clark deteriorate to this after reading like Tomasi's run is so sad, or what Jurgens did initially, like in creating this character, to see him here. It's like, man, it went from Clark teaching his son and mimicking sort of what his father, what the Jon Kent Sr. Did for Clark, do for his own son, was really cool. And now it's like, oh, Jon just knows everything and can't be taught anything anymore, and he just knows everything. And now it's just like, why can't everyone be as perfect as me? And it's like, he comes off as such like a rich brat, just like, everything in my life is perfect, why isn't it perfect for everyone else? And it's just so annoying, and that's not how you make a likable character. I don't know how anyone could like this Jon Kent. I love Jon Kent from Tomasi. I was really digging what Philip Kennedy Johnson was doing. Like, again, he has told, like, even though he hasn't been on Superman long, he's told like a couple solid father-son storylines that I was enjoying. I was like, man, it sucks that Jon is older now. It sucks that he's 17. We missed all that, you know, whole growing up thing, especially if you look at like Damian, who has, since he was introduced by Grant Morrison in like, what was it, the late 2000s or whatever, I guess early 2000s you'd say now, it's been a long time. He's aged like, what, 3 or 4 years since then? He was like, what, 10 or 11, now he's like 13, 14, something like that. He's only aged a couple years. Jon went from like, well, he's first introduced as a baby, obviously, and then like 6, and then like his age that he's meant to be was like 11, and then he went to 17 because of Bendis. And so it sucks to see all those storytelling opportunities go away, and now he's going to be Superman. He's his own person, and there's nothing for Clark to teach him anymore because he knows everything and he's morally right about everything. And this book really feels like it's going to be a lot of Jon doing a lot of social justice stuff, and it's like, hey, you want to see Jon maybe take on some cool Superman villains? No, he's going to be taking on a dictator that's doing this stuff, and it's like, it's going to mimic real life because this is what I'd like to see in the real world. It's like, yeah, if that stuff happened in the real world, cool. In a comic book, I do not give a shit. I'm sorry, but I don't, like, real world stuff does not make it interesting a comic just because it's something that would be cool to see in the real world. Like, if someone gave me $1 million in the real world, that would be very cool, very nice. But if someone gives someone $1 million in the comic book, I do not care. Don't write a story about that. My point is, Tom Taylor's just going to use this book as like a social justice mouthpiece, and he does not care about Jon or Clark, and it's pretty annoying, especially, again, because in Deceased, he handled Jon and Clark really well, but in this, maybe it's because in Deceased there's no other like worldly problems, it's just, hey, there's zombies, so it's like something interesting to talk about, instead of like, oh, I have all these real world issues I can tackle in a comic book that everyone definitely wants to see. Yeah, no. So I'm dropping this book, honestly, after 2 issues. I don't care. I might have already pre-ordered the 3rd issue. I don't remember if I did, but after reading the 2nd issue, I'm not pre-ordering anything more. So I am completely dropping this book. I don't care about it. Yeah, this issue sucked. I'm going to continue reading Action Comics, though, because I like what Philip Kennedy Johnson is doing, and yeah, that's my state of thing. I support books that I think are good, and I drop books I think are bad, so that's what I'm doing here. I gave it a shot. I read the first 2 issues. They suck. I'm done. I like a lot of what Tom Taylor's done with DC, but this book sucks. DH Jon Kent, DC, you bunch of dickheads.